CubeTuber.
Hello, my duders. I am the CubeTuber. Alright, it's another day, and we have ourselves another cube. Today we have the Mysore's Cube. So this cube is built by the guys over at Singleton. So for those of you that don't know, Singleton is a podcast which they talk a lot about cube. They kind of talk about cube strategy, mainly reviewing sets and looking at magic cards and sets that would have a place in cube. It's hosted by Brad and Eric. They do a great job. I really enjoyed their podcast. They kind of do their podcast not weekly. They do a seasonal thing. I think they're on their 10th season. So when they're in their season, they're pretty consistent with uploading stuff though. They recently released a podcast talking about this Mysore Cube. So if this video interests you, definitely go check out their podcast where they talk about it. Their podcast, I think they have a website for it, and it can also be found on the Apple App Store and Spotify and all that places. The Mysore Cube is also now featured on the Cobra. That's the Cube Cobra for the uninitiated there. So you can easily find the Mysore Cube. The Mysore Cube is a 450 card cube designed by Brad and Eric. It's kind of set up to be a semi-intro to cube for people who are a little more enfranchised with Magic. So this is people who have a little bit of money to invest in Magic, or at least maybe they've built up enough of a collection that they could build a pretty fun and legit cube. So we all know Mysore meaning a person who is frugal or not willing to spend money, kind of hoarding it. I mean, we can see that from the cool photo they picked there. I wonder where that's from. It looks like an Eldraine type of thing, or maybe Ixalan with treasure. But anyway, they picked some pretty cool art. So this cube is based around the idea that it has a price cap of $500, so that you could buy this cube with $500 and also get like sleeves and all the other stuff that you would need for a cube. Most cards in this cube are pretty cheap, generally around $1 or less. However, some of the cards are getting kind of expensive and may even run the risk of getting cut just because pushing the cube out of that $500 limit. So there are cards you got to watch out for, like Grave Titan, and a few of the land cards that are in threat of being pricey. So the problem, even though these cards may not necessarily break the bank, they kind of deter new players. They're like, why spend $8 for a land card or what have you. Okay, so this cube has 450 cards. We have 63 cards of each color. Yep, each guild has 5 cards, not including lands, and there are 40 colorless cards. So what stands out in this cube? On the low mana side, if we look at white, it's playing cards like Champion of the Parish, Mother of Runes, Giant Slayer, Thalia's Lieutenant. So there's kind of a human tribe that's going on, and there's also some support in that in green. So a lot of low mana good stuff. At the top end of that low mana, we have Planeswalker Elspeth's Son's Nemesis, which I think is a good Planeswalker and will probably be getting more praise in the future, as I think it's going to see more and more play. For blue spells, we have cards like Spectral Sailor, which I'm quite high on. I like being able to cast that in at Flash and then be able to use it as a kind of a draw engine for later in the game. We have cards like Thassa's Oracle and Arcane Artisan. Arcane Artisan in this case works as a show and tell replacement. Since show and tell is quite an expensive card, it has to get cut, and Arcane Artisan will kind of fill in that spot there. Another thing I like in Cube are the small cheap cantrip spells. So we have Thought Scour, Opt, Ponder, Chart of Course, and Impulse. Whenever I'm playing a blue heavy deck, or even splashing blue, like blue-green or blue-white, I want to see a bunch of cantrips. So I do put a lot of value in cantrips in blue. Let's move over to black. Black, we have a lot of aggro undead creatures, a lot of skeletons and zombies. Cards like we have Carrion Feeder, Dread Wanderer, Blood-Soaked Champion, Gutter Bones, a bunch of 1 and 2 mana spells that kind of come out quick and do damage, plus cards like Dread Wanderer and Gutter Bones, they kind of have that recursion effect, which helps in the next archetype that this cube runs, which is a little bit of aristocrat action. They're running Blood Artist, Zulaport Cutthroat, and Bastion of Remembrance. So there are some cards in black here that kind of have some recurrence, so that makes aristocrats quite a viable thing. Another archetype that this cube is playing is Discard Matters. So Brad really loves Pox decks. So since he designed this cube, he made sure to put plenty of discard and Pox-like cards in this cube. They're running Cabal Therapist, Davriel, Rogue Shadow Mage, Smallpox, Pox, Hymn to Turok, and Mind Wrench. So usually we don't see a lot of heavy discard spells in cube. This time Brad made sure to put them in, which is quite interesting. I think they tend to go kind of later in the pack, so that is interesting. That strategy tends to be kind of open. Red has a lot of cheap burn spells that are efficient for their costs. So there are 24 creatures between 1 and 3 mana. These are quick creatures that come out and do quick damage. For example, the Fire Drinker, Satyr, Jackal Pup, Monastery Swiftspear, Reckless Waif, these type of cards. Also, there are 22 instants and sorceries that are trying to burn your opponent out or at least deal damage. Not all of them do, but many of them are, trying to deal damage directly to face. Green's got the typical mana dorks that you would expect. However, cards that are standout low mana creatures are Scavenging Ooze, Mare of Aberbrook. I love Mare of Aberbrook. Mare of Aberbrook is great. When I played in Innistrad, I tried to make standard decks out of it and stuff. It supports humans. Plus, it's great on its own if it flips. I love Mare of Aberbrook, so whenever I see it in cube, it puts a smile on my face. We got Den Protector, which is another good card. And I guess at the higher end, probably we'd say mid-range, we have Night Pack Ambusher and Biogenic Ooze, which throws out more bodies onto the battlefield. These cards are quite fun and they bog up the battlefield. Okay, so we looked at some of the low mana cards. Let's look at what are the high end of each color. So the expensive cards of each color. And since a lot of these bomb cards that we would see in a typical cube are quite pricey, cards like Elspeth, Consecrated Sphinx, Grizzlebrand, and Eldrazi Titans, these guys got cut, and we're going to be playing some alternative cards. The cube is playing Harmonious Archon, Ethereal Forger, Vilas Broker of Blood, and Diraxu Maul of Flames. Also, Ancient Stone Idol. So the Ethereal Forger is great because sometimes you can get it out fast, and it helps out a lot in the Spells Matters deck. Vilas, is that right? Vilas is good, but he seems to be like a power down Grizzlebrand. Hey, I'll still take a power down Grizzlebrand, but it's not bad for what it does. And Diraxu appears to be kind of like a Dragon Titan. I love Titans. So if we take a look at the multicolor, in multicolor, they're running each of the 10 signets. These signets are great because they allow you to do your 2 and 3 color strategies. They make them viable. Aside from the signets, there's nothing here that stands out as too different. Each guild is kind of doing a typical thing that you would expect it to do. Azorius has a kind of flicker theme going on. Demir has a ninja theme going on. They talk a lot about that in their podcast. Ghoul is kind of trying to play fast creatures. So yeah, there's nothing too crazy going on there. In colorless, we have cards like Duplicant. We have cards like Smuggler's Copter, Mimic Vat. That card screws me whenever it comes out. I'm not good at playing it, but it always gets me. I don't know what's up with that. Also, they're playing the Rack, which I guess seems like a finisher for that discard strategy. The Cube is also running Sky Sovereign Console Flagship, which I feel like this card does not get the love that it deserves. I mean, look at it. It's a vehicle Titan. Who doesn't love Titans? I don't know. Yet again, if you don't have anything to crew it, I can understand the problem, but I mean, hey, it's 3 to do that, and even when it comes in, it's still bolting something. So 5 mana for a bolt isn't the best, but it can keep doing it. Let's move over to the lands. So when we look at the lands, the first thing we notice is there are no fetches, shocks, or duels going on here. So this cube runs all 10 of the man lands. So these are the lands that turn into bodies. Cards like Celestial Colonnade, Creeping Tar Pit, as we see up here. The cube is also running a mix of check lands, the pain lands, the filter lands, the Tango lands, and the Amonkhet cycle lands. Also for the enemy color pairing, the cube is running the sack lands. These lands are from Modern Horizon, and I could see them going up in price if they don't ever get reprinted. It depends on if they get reprinted or not. The lands seems to be the most expensive section of this cube. Nothing that's, groundbreaking, but with each land being anywhere between $4 to $8, it can definitely put a hurting on that $500 limit that we have. So what strategies does this cube support? There are some Reanimator archetype stuff going on here. We have the cube is running Exhume, Animate Dead, Umbroil Rites. So these are ways that you can get your fatties back from the graveyard out on the battlefield. I would like to see more cards that help you put the stuff into your yard, but generally there's some stuff there and it's looking good. Nothing too groundbreaking, but it's looking pretty good. Also, another great card is Opposition. They mentioned, the guys over at Solely Singleton, they mentioned how powerful Opposition is in their podcast. So definitely check out their podcast if you want to know more about that. It seems like it, if you're playing tokens, your opponent's just not going to be doing anything. This cube also supports a combo strategy. So cards like Anafenza Kin Tree Spirit, Viscera Seer for your sack outlet, and Murderous Redcap. So if you have all 3 of these cards out, you can sack your Murderous Redcap to go for infinite damage. And if you don't get the Murderous Redcap, you could go for a Kitchen Finks and try to gain infinite life. So cards that help support this are Shared Summons, which is a 5 mana green instant spell, and that definitely helps that. So for more archetypes, make sure to check out the Solely Singleton podcast that they recently did about the Mysore Cube. I highly recommend it. It's good stuff. All right, let's move to the draft section. Hey. So let's take a look at the pack one here. We have Fiery Confluence, which is really good if you're going mono red. I wonder if I could do that. We have the Great Shark, we have Jace, and we have the Ancient Stone Idol. Also Celestial Colonnade, Thassa's Intervention. I'm not too high on that. I like the Jace, I like the Celestial Colonnade, I like the Shark. I think we're going to go with the Celestial Colonnade and see. Generally, I'm not good at playing control spells, control decks, but let's see how this goes. Alright, so for this pack, seeing some 4 black cards, 4 green, wow, Treetop Village. The Grand Coliseum probably would be another safe bet to go. If I pick this one, it kind of keeps me open with my colors, and I can still tap for mana because there's nothing super great in this pack. So let's go with the Grand Coliseum. Alright. Does anything stand out? Not really. So Fumigate's pretty good. So if we're trying to do some control stuff, Fumigate is what we want to do. Therbin Inspector's really good. Finale of Glory. I like Finale of Glory. I think this is like, trying to get this off is like living magical Christmas land, but hey, we all got a dream, you know? Can I make this bigger? Nope, too big. Keep it this way. Alright, let's Fumigate. Ooh, alright, so we have Gideon Jorah, Angel of Inversion. No, see, lots of black. I'm not seeing much blue. So that blue might be a problem. I think Day of Judgment would be the way to go. If we pick Gideon, we have to try to hope to wheel around one of these 2 white cards. If not, we might have to start picking some black cards. Let's go with Gideon Jorah. Alright. So, we have Blast Zone. Yeah, Blast Zone seems pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not too high on Blast Zone. I mean, that would kind of be a last resort type of thing with me. What is that? Barin would be good. But we have our mana here. Do we have any blue spells yet? No. Doomed Artisan. Not too crazy about him either. Deal Broker, we're not going to pick that because we're not drafting with people. Let's do Prairie Stream. Alright, now we got some blue stuff going on here. Goner Turtle Knef. Scuttle Doom Engine. I do quite like the Scuttling Doom Engine. Watch it for tomorrow. Yeah, that Hideaway is pretty good. Let's pick that. Alright, probably let's pick this so we have some black options there. Green would not be bad too, but let's pick this. Alright. Declaration in Stone's good. Wall of Omens, Angel. Let's pick the Angel, but I definitely like the other 2. Winds of Abandon. Oh yeah. This is kind of like this is a Path to Exile that you can overload on. Charming Prince. I think Winds of Abandon would be better than the Charming Prince right now. Oh, also Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. He wields mysteries. That triple blue. Okay, I have the Celestial Colonnade and the let's go with the Wings of Abandon. Let's go with that. We're going heavy white. Heavy white. Alright, perfect. Therbin Inspector, Day of Judgment. Yeah, we're going. Oh, I probably should have picked the other one. Damn. I should have picked the Angel. I was being hasty. Curious Obsession. I do think this is good. Oh, never mind. No, I don't like that. We'll do Doomed Artisan. Thassa's Oracle and Uninspected Absence. Great. So far we have a lot of pretty consistent here. Let's see how this pack does us. Cloud Goat Ranger's nice. Dolvin Grand Arbiter. Until the end of a turn, whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put a loyalty counter on that. Alright. Spectral Sailor, I do like Spectral Sailor. Ponder. Oh, let's do Ponder, man. Let's get weird. Let's get weird, yo. Let's do Ponder. Oh, T-Cruise. And Restoration Angel. No, let's get weird, yo. Isolated Chapel. I'm not seeing any black stuff that we could pick from. Dauntless Bodyguard. So if we have some instants and sorceries here, which definitely makes this pretty good. Murmuring Mystic. The Blade's not bad either. Let's go with the Isolated Chapel. I'm not even sure if I'm picking black, but let's just keep open to it. Alright. Scatter the Sky, maybe. Grim Dancer, I don't like that double black pips. So let's go Scatter the Sky. Elspeth's Son's Nemesis is good. If that weren't there, I would definitely pick Heartless Act. Or Mental Note. Umburial Rites. Anafenza. Oh, if there's Anafenza and Viscera Seer. I'm not trying to combo. Umburial Rites I definitely do like, though. I think that does help with what I'm doing. Imposing Sovereigns are really good as well. But Umburial Rites I think is the way to go. Precursor Golem may be the one to pick here. Yeah, let's pick that one. Alright. Thalia's Lieutenant. Let's go with the I probably should have picked the Soul Herder. I just saw that. Hasty Decisions. Cloudgate Ranger. Callous Dismissal would be good. Rester Angel would be my next pick, but alright. This one's not bad. I'll pick him. Alright. Knight. Do the Giant Killer. Alright, last pick here. We're going through this quick. Alright, I think Mother of Runes is the way to go. Now, the Eternal... Forager, that might be the way to go. That's only a 3/3 flyer, though. Let's go with Mother of Runes. Maybe that'll wheel around. Alright, Porton's pretty good. Smuggler's Copter. I do like Smuggler's Copter. Do I have enough 1-drops, though, to support that? Actually, I might. I might have that. A few 2-drops, too. So, yeah, that might actually be the one to go. Porton would be the next pick. Nixilis, I do like him, but I don't think I'm gonna pick that. So let's go Smuggler's Copter. Alright, we'll do the Fairy Seeker. I think that's the way to go with that, especially now that I have the Smuggler's Copter. Astral Drift. No, we're going to do Swords to Plowshare. That Cloudkin Seer would be the next pick. Spectral Procession also is pretty nice. Gifts Ungiven? Yeah, let's do that. We'll do Gifts Ungiven. I don't like him. I really don't like the Exert cards. I think they're interesting, but it's not my cup of tea. Alright, he's not too bad, because when he comes in, you can be the Monarch, which that's just let you draw cards. So I like that. Ugh, Pox, there it is. Ugh, triple black, just making everyone sad. Let's do the history card. Did I miss something? Probably Reflector Mage would be the one to do. Deep Analysis is also really good, but definitely Reflector Mage is the way to go. Wingcrafter not too high on that one. Alright. So we're back here. You have to spend 6 mana to make it draw cards, or just 3 mana to make it a looter. It's a 0/1. So let's do Portent. The reoccurring 3/1. I kind of like that. Yep, let's do that. Let's do Portent. Okay, we'll take the Kraken. That's a good card. Astral Drift, not going to play that though. Silverblade Paladin, probably wouldn't play that. Definitely wouldn't play that. Lone Missionary. Alright. Here's the deck we have here. Uh-oh, just popped out and came back. Alright, that would be a fun little deck to mess around with. I don't know how powerful this deck would be, or how consistent. It doesn't have any counter spells. There's definitely some in this cube. I just didn't pick them. I kind of got narrow vision there in that regard. But alright, final thoughts on this cube. I think this is a super sweet cube. I highly recommend it. Make sure to check it out in the description below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Alright guys, I'll see you next time.